Today we're visiting the Pinnacle's beautiful 2-bedroom sample apartment located on the 3rd floor of Tower 1, the Swallowtail Tower. This unit is lagoon facing, offering open water views and a peaceful backdrop that defines the overall atmosphere of this space. This tour will give you a real sense of what to expect from these residents and what living will feel like here. The apartment features a double balcony, ensuite bathrooms, and a thoughtful layout designed for comfort and flow. So come along and join us for this stunning apartment tour. So Kanya, this is a 2-bedroom that we're seeing, the concept 2-bedroom.
Yes, this is our 1299 square feet lagoon facing 2-bed.
Okay, and we are on the 3rd floor?
We're on the 3rd floor, and remember, living starts on the 3rd floor. So this is the lowest possible level to live, lowest view that you'll get. Everything else is elevated, it goes up. So it's 1299 square feet. It's open concept, living, dining, kitchen. 9.5 feet is the distance between the ceiling and the floor. Category 5, hurricane-proof windows and doors. Quartz countertops, recessed lights, central air, and the furniture, of course, is for staging purposes.
Okay, and so everybody will have an opportunity to choose and design, decorate?
It depends.
Okay.
So in the residential tower, this tower, yes.
Okay.
But if you're in the Canary Tower and you're going to want to put your unit back with the hotel, we have a tier, different options that you can choose from.
Okay. So obviously fully customizable, dream furniture, dream table.
Of course, absolutely.
Okay. Beautiful. And now moving into the bedroom, which bedroom
primary
is this?
Bed.
This is the primary bed.
This is primary bed. So you get this view. It's a rainy day, but still a beautiful view.
Definitely.
From this primary bed, look at the space. It's a king-size bed, night tables. You can recline here, ensuite bathroom with a wet room, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you have your big bath where you can soak, and then there's also a shower.
So that's one thing that I really like about this is that
the space.
This space. I didn't know that's what it's called, the wet room.
I just had a client say to me the other day, that's not really a bathroom, it's a wet room. And I'm like, yeah, it is a wet room. It's a wet room. You close this door and it's a wet room. And
it definitely has that indoor-outdoor feeling.
Yes. And you won't be outside looking in, you won't be able to see, but you can stay inside and look outside. So you can be soaking while taking in that view.
Yeah, nobody can see you.
Yes.
That's good, that's awesome. Yeah. Oh, I love the layout. I love the tall ceilings as well. I'm a huge fan.
Of high ceilings, yeah.
Definitely.
Very nice.
And you get 2 balconies here.
Yes, so you have one to the left, and then one in front, and then this one. Ooh, you feel that breeze?
Yeah.
This one goes all the way down to the secondary bed.
And I also like the fact that each bedroom has its own bathroom.
And closet.
And closet, right.
Own bathroom and closet, so you can have your own privacy. One thing else that I like about this, about all the units, although it's central air, each unit still has your own control. So you can have the AC out here, the master one is on, and you can adjust it to what you want in your bedroom, on, off, whatever the temperature. You can do that in your bedroom.
Very nice.
Closet space, bathroom. See how the lights came on? See how the lights came on? I didn't touch anything.
I love it. Nice. Very nice. Again, tall ceilings, tall enclosure as well.
A lot of space for showering.
Tons and tons of space. I love the inset as well. Anytime I go, it feels like a hotel, you know.
The finishes? Yes.
The finishes, but anytime I go to a hotel, like the bathroom is so important. And having that, as simple as that is, it is a huge convenience.
It is, absolutely.
Very beautifully designed. And this behind us with the balcony.
This is a balcony with more views.
Very nice.
Grade 12A porcelain tiles. And same, we're consistent with the windows and doors, 9.5 feet. Category 5 hurricane proof.
Excellent. And we just went through Melissa. Still here. No problem. Nothing. No issue at all.
No damages at all.
And I would presume that because the glass is so thick and it is made for that type of impact, that's why it's so quiet in here.
Exactly.
And you don't hear the outside traffic or even the rain that is coming down right now.
You hear nothing from outside.
That's crazy.
There's construction going on right now. You don't hear any construction noises. Once they're closed, that's it. It blocks out all the noise.
That's huge.
Amazing.
Talk about peace and quiet.
Peace of mind, serenity, relaxation. Yes.
Oh, this is great. This is great. And how much would a unit like this go for?
This right now is 691,000. This exact unit.
691,000.
Yes.
Man, get it while you can.
Get it while you can.
Get it while you can. Now, this is absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Kanya, for taking the time.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure.
I hope you enjoyed the tour of this third floor, 2-bedroom, lagoon-facing apartment at the Pinnacle Swallowtail Tower. If you'd like more information on the Pinnacle, please scan the QR code on the screen or visit the link in the description below. Welcome to our newly renovated standard rooms, and this is our standard veranda, our balcony, depending on if you're on the first floor or the second floor. It comes with 2 chairs and a table. And this is our double queen room. And as you can see, we have our standard herring artwork on the walls with a accent wall and the wooden bed heads, and each bed has a reading lamp, and those reading lamps have USB type A outlets plus a standard outlet on the wall for you to plug in any electronics that you may have. Rooms also come standard with a flat screen television as well as a desk, coffee maker / tea maker that you can use in the mornings if you'd like, and you also have coffee and tea available to you as well. And we also have a mini fridge for your convenience. Of course, we are AC room. This is the tropics, this is Jamaica, but we also have a ceiling fan for you available as well if you prefer, or you want to use both. And moving on to the bathroom area, I just wanted to point out that all of our standard room doors now are using electronic key cards, which we are very happy about, and just much more easier to use from a hotel logistics standpoint. Moving into the bathroom, this is probably one of our most proudest renovations. Moving into the shower area, we have the rainfall shower head as well as the handheld shower head. And the designer went into the details of putting the shower together with this color schemes, but also the practicality of it. And I just want to highlight some of those, and one of them being the shower drain as well as the shower heads, which you saw, which is all complementing each other. And of course, the shower amenities with this shelf for your convenience towards the back of the shower, and even where the shower faucet is, which is towards the back of the shower, which allows you to turn on the shower without getting wet. Moving on to the sink, it's also a black handle sink, which again just complements the design of the entire shower and bathroom, and it's all coordinated even with the room design. And as you can see, we have the towel hooks as well, which I really appreciate. And that in a nutshell is our newly renovated standard room. This podcast is supported by Discovery Water. Whether I'm working or training, I reach for Discovery Water. 100% premium Jamaican spring water. Bottled in glass, no plastic, no gimmicks. Refill, not landfill. Just clean, natural hydration from right here on the island. Definitely was on mute. Sorry. Rookie mistakes today. But I was saying we're starting early today, and happy to be doing that. And for I know a bunch of people were here earlier that might have missed the premiere of the podcast that I just released with Sydney Watson, which was, I hope you enjoyed it. You know, we can have a discussion about that if you want. But Today, we're going to do a chill day today. We're going to do a Q&A. I suspect this is just going to be for, what would I call us? The true believers, they're really the Throp community, the diehard Throp community, I would say more or less, because we don't have, as you can see with the thumbnail, didn't really put much information. We're just doing a general Q&A and kind of give you the time to ask whatever questions that you want. We can go for a couple of hours. We've been going super, super hard the last, I would say, maybe 5 weeks or so here at Throp Media. And we wrapped up, I guess, our biggest production on Friday in Treasure Beach. I'll speak with you guys about that and share with you what's been going on. But we have a lot of amazing, amazing content that is rolling out at starting mid-March. You'll start to see some of the projects that we've been working on, and it'll go essentially right up until ThropX in May. And so we have a pretty cool content strategy plan. I'm like looking at it on the whiteboard here that we started out planning late last year and then really got going this first quarter this year. So a lot of, I think, big content plans that are really aligning with what's going on in Jamaica. And of course, I want to always do my utmost best to bring you the most up-to-date, accurate information on opportunities and introduce you to the people who are really making this happen on a really, really high level. And when I say high level, they are really, really excellent and great, world-class at what they do. And I'm very, very excited to introduce you to them. I wish I could just snap my fingers and edit and put it out there. But as you can imagine, these projects take some time. And this is like the first time us as a media team, like we've had multiple multi-day productions that we've been doing, which is awesome. You know, I can't believe that I'm here and doing this with a team that I've built. And this is like 5 years in the making to get to this point. And these are like any one of these singular productions that we've done and accomplished in the last 4 weeks, standalone would have been out of this world to do it just as the only project that we would have done in a previous year. And so we've done more production projects in the last 5 weeks than we did, I would say, in the last 2 years. Just kind of put that in perspective. And I will say the level of production, at least the effort, the level of production that we put into what's coming out is definitely unlike anything that I've done before. So really, really excited to share this all with you. And we are going to be heads down getting the stuff out. And what's also pretty cool is that, as you can see, we are still putting out content. We are still putting out podcasts, and that's not going to stop. That was also part of the plan that we have. So every week we are putting out podcasts, and we'll continue to do so for the foreseeable future. As much as we are up to our necks in production and now post-production work that we're doing as a team, we are we will be putting out a second video starting this week. So the only reason why we haven't started that would be because we were on productions the last few weeks. We were in Treasure Beach all of last week, which was awesome. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably already know that. I'll talk. That's probably going to be the first thing that I'll dive into in a few minutes. It was amazing. I love Treasure Beach like crazy. So we were Treasure Beach all last week, and a few more productions before that, which I'll talk to you about as well. But now that stuff is done, as you can imagine, a ton of planning goes into these productions. Speaking with the partners that we're working with, the logistics of getting accommodations, travel, food, restaurants, like all of that. It's a lot to kind of coordinate and put together. And then there's the creative planning aspect of it, like how are we going to pull this video off? What's the storyline? Who are the players? Making contacts on top of contacts. And so I think all of this is going to be amazing, and like I said, it's great for the team, great for the channel, but I think it's also very much in line with what's happening in Jamaica. And I'm happy to kind of really be telling these stories that they're already out there. They just need somebody to tell those stories, and they need a team to do that. and I'm happy and proud that it's us that are going to be telling these stories and sharing them with you on this channel. And very compelling stuff, like really, really compelling stuff. Like this is like I won't tell you which one it is, but I mean, man, one of them just like got me like very emotional. As you can imagine, it was on the South Coast, with what's happening down there, and very, very. It just made me just like really reflect on what we've been going through as a country, and most in particular on this part of the island. And it's just crazy. And I think that like why it has got so emotional is because like we've just, as you can imagine, like with Melissa, preparing for Melissa itself, then everything that has happened afterwards. And then I have multiple businesses to run. Just never have time to like sit down and reflect. And I think that's, I mean, even now, and I guess that was in doing one of these interviews, like he was like, that was like my moment that I didn't realize or expect, that like I was actually sharing in a moment with this person that I was sitting down and speaking with, their experience, and they were sharing it with me, and I realized like, man, we have this bond that we went through together even though we weren't physically together, but the challenge, the responsibility of what happened after Melissa like is immense, is like it really, really immense. And so very, very interesting for me, and surprising, unexpected, I would say. And it's a lot of great stuff. It's a lot of great stuff. So now it's like, hey, can us as a team pull it off and put this thing together in a consumable way, because there is just so much, and that's going to be the challenge of like how we're going to tell these stories, like cutting all I guess you can call it the fat, cutting out the fat, and just getting you the story, the aspects of the story that we feel matter the most. So that's what we've been working on for the last 4 weeks, 5 weeks or so, and it's all going to come together, like I said, starting, or at least coming out, starting mid-March. So we're gonna be here working hard, working very, very hard to make sure all of that gets out. So as usual, what city, what state, what country are you chiming in from? I always love to hear it. Like I said, today is a Q&A, and we're gonna I do have of course I have a couple of articles and things that we missed last week that I will be open to speaking, just touching base on, if there's no questions in the comment section here, which I doubt, but that is an option, always of course prepared to bring you guys some news and some information, and share my perspective on a lot of these things. So let's go to the comments real quick. Please listen to Donna and hit the like button. It helps out a lot. Milan, what's going on? Thanks for joining. Pawa, what's going on? Thanks for joining. Thanks for being on. Donna Bryce says, love the Pinnacle as appropriate for Montmo Bay. Seriously not impressed with the Selvin Builders project in Negril, so not the Negril vibe. How did they get planning permission? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Vivine Harriet, hello from Palm Beach, Florida. Blessings to all. Ms. Towns, hey Throp, I'll be in Kingston next Saturday, going to tax office to get TRN and open bank account. Awesome, awesome, congratulations. That's the first step. I'm sure. I hope everybody knows, like that's one of the very, very important foundational steps to doing business in Jamaica of any sorts, is getting a TRN. And if you haven't done so, even if you're thinking about buying something here, investing here, doing business here, get your TRN. Also, the second aspect of that is get your bank account as well. It can be a little, sometimes with the bank account, it's bureaucratic. Let's say that, bureaucratic to say the least. And sometimes you just want to get this process started early and do as much research as you can, especially if you're going to be coming here physically and setting it up. Your bank account, that is. VM, if you're in, oh man, I should know. I think there's a bunch of them in the United States, Toronto, and in London. And so you also have the ability to open a bank account abroad if you're not in Jamaica with VM. I think that's the beauty of working with that bank, is that they are very global and very integrated. So something to take into consideration. I do work with them. I'm not getting paid to say that or anything like that, but I think they're a great bank to work with, and they are, like I said, they're pretty global in that respect. Phil, what's going on? Good to have you on. James Wilson, have you heard of Silver Sands Beach Community? And are you talking about in Montego Bay, if that's the one that you're talking about? Yes, I am familiar. Phil is chiming in from Louisiana. What's going on with Shia LaBeouf out there? I think I see he's having the time of his life. Powers in, I don't know if I'm saying your name right, in Chicago, very cold Chicago. I hear the Northeast is getting a blizzard tonight or tomorrow. Somebody can correct me on that, which is crazy. You guys just got slammed, I think 6 weeks ago or so. Is it 6 weeks? Maybe a month ago. Um, Rich, we'll just call you Rich. Greetings from Toronto, Canada. Awesome. Nice to have you on. Charles watching from Nassau, Bahamas. Great afternoon. Drop and network family. Awesome. Nice to have you on. Chris Charles, what's going on? Snowy Strong Island just landed from rain in London. Man, Chris, you are everywhere traveling, living your best life. I love that. I love that for you. That's so awesome. Glad to have you back over here across the pond. Anik, what's going on? Hi, everyone chiming in from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Nice to have you. Chris DDS, greetings from cold Omaha. We're all over today. Look how global we are. Look at this. Look at this. I love that. I love that about this community. Trade Victoria Mutual. That's right. Yeah, that's when I was talking about VM to Victoria Mutual. Althrop, I'm very excited for what's happening in Jamaica. A few setbacks from Hurricane Mel, but we will pull through. I noticed that a lot of Jamaicans are coming home. Yes, yes, yes. That is definitely a trend, and I don't think it's a. I hope it's not a. I don't think it's a trend in terms of like it's going to flame out and this is just hot for now. I think this is a real thing. You bring up two things that that put a different thought in my head. So I was talking to my dad about this today about Hurricane Melissa, and he went to Black River yesterday with one of his friends. I think it did he no yeah he did. That's his first time going to Black River and physically seeing what's going on. And of course, I was there drove through there on Friday, coming back from Treasure Beach, and so it hit him. He's like, man, this is going to take years. It's going to take at least 5 years for the country to recover from this. And some places he's like, it's going to be 10 years. And this is like an ongoing long term thing. And he was just imploring me that I keep it at the forefront of my content and the channel about what's happening, the challenges that are going on, and then also highlighting the many people and organizations that are really helping with what's happening. And I just thought it was a great idea. And we know this already. I've said this over the last few weeks that no matter what, every stream we're going to talk about Hurricane Melissa. And not that, and I'm sure there's Melissa fatigue out there, and I understand, but we can't forget, like we can't allow this to be normalized, if you will, and for those who have recently drove through Black River, it is more or less the same in terms of like how the destructive forces that have happened over there. And so even let me pull up the map. Always a good excuse to pull up any good excuse to pull up the map. But even like as you drive through, uh, like if you as you're heading to Parity, I'm sure this place has a name, but I don't know the name of this place. So I'm just gonna put your comment away. So we're gonna go. So this is Jamaica. This is Jamaica. I'm here in Negril, all the way on the westernmost part of Jamaica, and we're gonna head to the south coast here, and we're gonna head to Black River. And to get there, you drive along the coast for the most part. And so this is Belmont, which was Belmont Bluefields, which is damaged very, very, very badly. And then going through White House, and then here's Border, and now we're in St. Elizabeth. And let's get to Black River. And so this is actually a lot of greenery here. Like a lot of this came back, but as you go through, I guess this is called High Street. Yeah, I guess this is High Street. So this is Parity over here, and then this is where you would go to get to Treasure Beach. Do I got that right? I think I got that right. And so anyway, as you go through the town, where am I? Where am I? As you go through the town, Can't really see it, but the town is still pretty much like like this, unfortunately. And then as you go through, okay, yeah, Crane Road. That's the name of it. Like as you go through Crane, the Pelican Bar Tours. I might be messing up. This is Parity. Okay, yeah, this is Parity. Let me try to find the where's the roundabout? I'm all messed up here. Sorry. This is Floyd Pelicans Bar. Hmm. Treasure Beach. I know you can go straight to Treasure Beach here, but that's not. But my point is, it's so Crane Road. This is what I'm talking about. So Crane Road, after you cross the bridge here. So this is the Black River Safari Tour. I don't know if you've ever been on that to see the crocodiles and stuff. I've done that a few times. Pretty awesome tour. I like it. And you go upriver and you see crocodiles. You can feed them. They said you could swim with them, but I hope they were joking. But anyway, like going through Crane Road here, like all of this is pretty much the same. And I don't know, I don't know a lot about trees or vegetation or anything like that, but these are all dead. It's like there's no greenery. They're barren. Like they look like the same as if they were like right after the hurricane, and that's juxtaposed to like here in Negril, or even as you're driving through other parts of Westmoreland, like in the mountains, like a lot of most of the greenery has come back. But for some reason, which I don't know, maybe it's the sea salt, maybe the ocean came over and just saturated the roots of these trees and killed it. I don't know, but it's just all, it just looks like just a wasteland. So I say that to say it's like a lot of this stuff is going to be to come back is like years and years and years and years. And it's still very much the government still very much in the planning stage, as they should be. You know, this is to me, this is not something that you want to rush, because it's also an opportunity. It's an opportunity to build back stronger, to go in a different direction, and to create opportunity for future generations. And so, you know, you really want to think through this thing as much as humanly possible and get it right, whatever that looks like. You know, think of everything, think of the infrastructure, think of housing, think of opportunity for entrepreneurs, schools, young people. So it's a lot to take into consideration, especially with the limited resources that are there. So you know, that was just my experience. Just kind of triggered my experience on Friday driving through there, and then my dad had on there. I think yesterday he went through there and drove there through there for the first. There we go. There we go. Sorry, I lost you for a second. All right, let's keep rolling here. All right, let's keep going through the comments. Gary McCarthy sending much love from sunny Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Awesome, nice to have you on. Georgina, what's going on? Hello from rainy, about to snow DMV. Nice to have you. AJ, what does the tech industry look like in on the ground in Jamaica? Corporation companies looking for tech workers, or what is the need for tech consultants freelance for tech workers? I can't really speak to that. I'm not how will I say? I'm not trying to like use this skirt the question or anything like that, but I'm not in corporate Jamaica, so to speak, and I can't really speak to the demand. I don't know of any in terms of hearing anything, and um just kind of not in those circles. I know there are tech startups here in Jamaica for sure, and I don't know where they are in terms of the need for skilled freelance tech workers. But I think there is a lot of opportunity to build your own shop. Your challenge is going to be, I always say this, like Jamaica is not producing an army of software engineers on an annual basis coming out of UTech or UE sort of thing. And that's just the reality. So your challenge is going to be, if you are to start something of that nature, if you're going to start your own shop, is finding the talent here, because it's not a lot. We're not producing a ton of these young people. I mean, of course, it doesn't have to be somebody who's coming straight out of college, but we do have a tech industry and we do have tech entrepreneurs, and these I know these skills are needed, but I don't know at what level the demand is. I presume high because of what I just said, but I just wouldn't know what direction to point you in or who to talk to. But I would say, from an entrepreneurial perspective, it's like, man, I think there's a lot of opportunity here, a lot of needs and services in Jamaica that are not really being rolled out and presented to different companies of all sizes. Oren says, I expect that by max 2030-35, the skylines of Mobay to be transformed. I'm very optimistic. Love it here. Love it here in Jamaica, especially now that crime is trending down. Yeah, for sure. The skyline in Montego Bay is definitely going to be different. And in a big way, the Pinnacle is the tip of that spear and has set the precedent. And and then also what I'm also excited about is like the infrastructure, particularly the road network in Montego Bay is it's going to be great. And in many ways, it's like, I'm not trying to pin one against the other, but I think it's going to be better than Kingston. It really, really is. Like, if you just there there we go. Sorry about that. I don't know why the internet keeps dropping. But yeah, just getting back to Montego Bay. There's a lot happening infrastructure wise, and of course, we've talked many times about the Mobay bypass. Hold on, let me see if I could bring that up. So if we go to Montego Bay here, this is the new highway that they've been building. I don't know when this thing is going to be finished. I thought it was going to be finished last year, and but this does not look like. I could be wrong, but I don't know about this being finished this year. It would be amazing. It would be amazing. It would be crazy. I don't know how long it would even take to like pave this thing, but it's pretty awesome because it's just gonna free up this whole like downtown Freeport. My goodness, you're cutting. You could on an easy day, you're probably cutting 20 to 30 minutes out of your, if you're coming to Negril, that is, out of your Negril drive. Forget about it if you land during rush hour, you're probably cutting an hour out of your commute to Negril easily, maybe more. I mean, God forbid there's a cruise ship there as well. So this is great. This is great for Montagonians, freeing up traffic here. Another thing that's really exciting is that they're going to be turning Jimmy Cliff Boulevard into a walking only, excuse me, is going to be a walking only, pedestrian only sector. And if I'm not mistaken, they're also going to do some sort of tram. I'm not sure. I think that would be magnificent. And that is going to do so much for the local economy and for small businesses. And I think that's really, really smart. I don't know when that's happening. I would guess as you're saying here, or in 20 around the 2030 time. And so, also, mind you, all of these. Let's see if we can see them. So, is this Lilliput? And my Montego Bay geography ain't Negril geography. Anyway, there's like, let's see if we could find them. There's one. Nope, I'm only seeing one. Hold on. There's about three of these large hotels here on the North Coast. Is this one of them? No. One of them, one of the biggest ones being this must be the other one, being the Hard Rock Cafe that is currently being constructed. No, that's some housing development. Anyway, they got some big things happening there, some great amenities that are coming to the city of Montego Bay, and I think it's going to be a really awesome city, and they are really focusing on the traffic, and just there's just not a lot of opportunities like that, at least from my understanding of the layout of Kingston. There's not a lot of opportunities like that in Kingston, just to like cut roads out, cut traffic down. It's such a very dense place with. All right, trying to get the internet situated here. Sorry, we keep dropping. 1 second. Trying to make a call here. See if we can get it sorted. Hold on 1 second. All right, let's see if my brother can help me out. Um, yeah, so like super excited about Montego Bay and the direction that that city is heading in, and then also it's going to be way quicker to get from Montego Bay to Negril, and hopefully I don't know, who knows when we're going to get that Lucy bypass as well. Dree, good afternoon from Fort Lauderdale, 86 degrees and hot. Awesome. Glad you guys getting some good weather there. Fire medic chiming in from San Pedro, Belize. Awesome. I haven't got there yet. I got to get to Belize. I'm hearing great things about there. Chris Charles, do you know any info on the Grill Paradise Integrated Resort by 7? Yes. You know what? Yeah. All right, we're back. Don't know what's going on. Sorry, everyone. So to answer your question, Chris, I do know, I'm obviously aware of it. I'm aware of the development. The only thing that I would say I am directly familiar with is the CEO, and I don't know how many people have been in this community since then. He's actually been on the podcast before in 2022. So let's see if I can find the stream, and I'll just put it in there in the comments section. And then you guys can, oh, here we go. I found it. And so take a look at that. Let me see. I forgot it's my own content. We can watch it. No, we're not going to watch it, but I'll just bring it up. So for those folks who have been on the stream or been in the community since then. All right. So remember this? Anybody remember this stream from 3 years ago? Anybody who was part of this community back then? Let me know if you remember, or if this is familiar to you. But he's actually been on the stream before, as the gentleman in the bottom right corner there, and they were actually planning to do. I don't know what happened with it, but they were also planning to do a big development in outside of Montego. I guess you could call it Montego Bay, but in the Hopewell area near Round Hill. Oh, you guys remember? Let me know. Anybody else remember this stream? So these are, or at least he's from what I've been told, he's the CEO. And so their marketing person had contacted me to attend the event yesterday, but I was unable to. Just got too much going on. But as they shared with me the CEO's name, I googled him, and of course, the first thing to come up was this video that he was in with me that we did on the stream. So I hope that clears up, shed some light, Chris. Let's see what they're talking about here.
That culture, they don't want to leave when they come here, but the only thing that's really missing from Jamaica is a complete living experience, and I think that's what we're going to do here in Jamaica, and I'm really excited to learn as much as I can. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you for joining, Renee. I appreciate it. And Marlon?
Well, thank you for having me. Good to meet you. Heard a lot about you. Thanks, Wendy, for bringing us together. And thank you, Renee, for coming on. Marlon Howell, I was born in Jamaica, but left Jamaica at a very young age. And I grew up in Canada. So that most of my time was spent overseas. And during my time overseas in my schooling, I went into the construction industry. So I've been in the construction industry for about 38 years. I've done all facets of construction, from my own business to working with other corporations. And I've done from residential, commercial, institutional, recreational, and I spent a few years in the petroleum industry. But coming to Jamaica has been excellent for me, and it's given back to the country. And working with my fellow Jamaicans and seeing the country grow is fantastic.
Excellent. Thank you, Marlon, and thank everybody for introducing themselves. So I just want to give everybody like a quick background on how this hodgepodge of individuals came to be right here, and we have Wendy to thank for that for sure. And Wendy is proud Jamaican, obviously, and a subscriber here on the channel. And we've been talking via Instagram and WhatsApp. I'm just gonna skip around a little bit.
Okay. Second one, the one that we're talking is just past Lucy right here, the opposite way.
Sorry, I'm just bringing up the terrain there.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a little past Sandy Bay, you said?
That's right. Yes.
So after Round Hill?
After Round Hill, yes.
Okay, good. As long as you're past Round Hill,
yeah,
because that's where the problem is. Okay,
that's
I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, for sure. This is 30 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. So
gotcha,
we're gonna send you the map and the layout and everything. But we drive it, and it's a fantastic drive. It's right along the coast.
Okay. Is it in this area where the mouse is?
No, just a little bit further over here. Just past. You see where Trial Club is?
I'm sorry. Going back. Okay, here.
Yeah, just past Trial, the other way. Yeah.
Oh, okay, around this area. Okay, cool. Very nice. All right, let me bring you guys back up here. All right, now we have everybody has an idea about that. All right, I'll leave it there. You guys can check it out, see what they're about. Not sure where this project went, but it was supposed to be. Maybe they're still doing it as well. but it was supposed to be like this mega beautiful ultra luxury experience in that area that you were seeing there. I want to go back and watch this and remind myself about of what we were learning on this live stream, but that's the only insight that I personally have into, excuse me, into this group of investors that are going to be doing, or at least had a groundbreaking ceremony on a project that they're doing in on the West End. And so, good luck to them. Good luck to them, and hope it works out. And to me, development eyeballs on the grill it's a positive thing, and let's hope that they're successful in their endeavors in whatever capacity that they're doing it. James Williams says, funny how they only updated that side of the Google Maps. Now we're talking about when we were on Black River and the South Coast. Rich, as a new follower who came across your Facebook during your prep for Melissa, I appreciate that you continue to speak about the long-lasting impact. It should not be forgotten. Absolutely, absolutely. Deco says sort of look like Hawaii after the fire. Yep. I think so. I think so as well. Chris, Boston is about to get hit hard again with snow. I'm getting tired of this for real. Moving back is more and more enticing. Your platform is very convincing. Keep up the good work, sir. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it's like I think about the same thing like with are in New York, and I'm like, damn man, I want to get them out of there. Like that's a plan. Like get them out of there, like not having to deal with it. And I'm born and raised New Yorker. Blizzard of '96 right here. If you have options, I think, hey, why not exercise those options, right? And if you can literally move to warmer climates and have a better quality of life in respect to the weather and otherwise, absolutely. I think it's such a privilege. And in a video in the podcast that I did with Sydney, the one that I just sorry, the video's coming up. With the one I just released, there's somebody put in a comment that I forget where they went, but anyway, they were just talking badly about Jamaica, and they're paying X amount of money. They left Jamaica and they're living somewhere else, and they're happier there than they are in Jamaica. And I think that is that's great, and it's just such a privilege that if you have the ability to say be born somewhere in one country and you feel as if that you're not meant to be there, or you're working in a country that you weren't born in and you want to come home like here in Jamaica, and you're gearing up and you're moving towards actually making that physical move, it's a beautiful thing. It's such a privilege. It's an absolute privilege to be doing that. And even with the people who talk badly about Jamaicans, especially Jamaicans who talk badly about Jamaica, I'd never go back. I'm never going there. I'll never invest in Jamaica. I'm happy in XY place around the world. I think that's fabulous. I think that's absolutely fabulous that you have the ability to choose somewhere else. And it really is a privilege. There's a lot of people in this world that don't have that ability, whether it be because of financial constraints or responsibilities that they're tied to in a particular city or country, and they can't make that move. And maybe, God forbid, maybe that they're just like extremely unhappy with where they are, but they have no choice but to stay there. They have no choice but to just endure. But I do believe that a lot of people have more authority and agency over their life and what they can do, but it's just kind of opening their minds to that. And and a lot of times there's a way, there really, really, really is a way. I think the podcast with Sydney is a great example of that. I think the podcast with Kenya that we released last week is another great example. These people aren't people with millions and millions of dollars in their bank account, and that it's not like that they didn't have a career and didn't have a job and opportunities. It's not the case at all. But even with being in the U.S. structure and within the umbrella of the American dream, they've decided otherwise, and they decided to take the leap. And yes, it's absolutely scary, and it's not something that should be taken lightly. You should prepare, you should understand what you're going through and about to go through as you transition from one country to another, whether you were born here or not. You could be away for an extended period of time. Things have definitely changed, and you want to understand what the process that you're about to go through, from a resource standpoint, from a mental standpoint, for a spiritual standpoint, from an emotional standpoint. A lot of it can be very, very shocking, and even with as much preparation as you possibly can go through, it can still be a jarring experience to go through. And I've spoken many times about my own personal transition to Jamaica, but I didn't do it in a smart way. I didn't prepare myself. Very knee jerk decision. Perhaps if I didn't do that, I'm a classic overthinker, so I would have probably overthought myself out of moving to Jamaica. And even though I just said, and I didn't do it in the best way, but maybe it was the best way for me to do it, just jumping in 2 feet and going along the lines of ignorance is bliss. And it worked out, and it has been working out lovely for me. And I'm very grateful and happy to be here. But everybody has their own journey and their own path to take as it relates to that. And as I said before, I think that a lot of us have more agency over our lives and the decisions and the fate of our own being here on the earth. We have more control over that than we actually think. So, like I said, I really believe that there's a will, there's a way. And then also, I think this community is a great community to be a part of, to help you and assist you along that route, and learning from one another, having conversations. It could be in this chat, it could be offline with other people who have done it, are in the process of doing it, and learning from each other. And that's why I try to have as many of these different guests on the podcast as possible. So whether it's in one way or another, perhaps you see yourself in them. And then when we go to like the professional side of things, like there will be people there that's like literally going to help you move and help you find a home and help you find a bank loan and get you your TRN and all these basic and fundamental things. So yeah, would love to. I wish you well on your journey, Chris. I definitely do. And you'll be out of that Boston cold in no time, I'm sure. Nicole, happy Sunday to you as well. Thanks for joining from Dallas. Fire medic, I'm here in Belize. Excuse me. Wishing Jamaica was like it here. I have not seen one police in about a week. And when I did, they don't carry guns. Everybody has golf carts. We'll get there one day. I don't know about the golf carts and no guns, but we'll get to very, very super peaceful Jamaica. I think we're well on our way. Honestly, I think we're well on our way. Deco says going forward, they need infrastructure, but that more the mayor downtown of Black River. Definitely. Do you know of any plans to build up the Black River? I'm not sure. Build up the river of Black River. Oh no, I'm sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. Deco says, I think all they need something like a big building for future storm where persons can go and hold on the storm. Yes, they're definitely thinking along those lines, not just for St. Elizabeth, but all over the country. Let's see what we're saying. All 14 parishes. Yes, that's right. Melanin, how are the dental needs of the population being served? Is there access to care, or is it concentrated in the major towns, especially on the North Coast region? I can't speak for the entire island, but I forgot his name. I had a dentist on. I was going to kill me. I had a dentist on here about 3 years ago, and he is a young dentist, has a practice here in Negril, and then also one in Kingston. And yeah, he was telling me about the rate of dentists coming out of school, and I just remember like there needs to be an uptick. There's a need for it. As you mentioned, that we're actually doing a dental clinic here in Negril. We have a bunch of dental technicians and dentists, hygienists as well, that are staying with us here at Travelers, and we've been cleaning teeth of our team members, our NEET students, and then they're starting a clinic, I believe, tomorrow, going downtown. So we're lucky to have these organizations. So this is through, I guess technically it's through the Rotary Club of Negril, but it's Rotarians. At least our contact is Rotarian from Virginia. And they do just amazing work. Shout out to Kathy and Byron. Really appreciate you guys. And Jade, man, they just like I hear, especially talking with Kathy, like they they just catch so much, with especially with kids' teeth, and that can really affect the quality of life of any person. Imagine not being able to chew your food, and there's a whole like multiple level of consequences that comes with that of even of having a missing tooth, and God forbid having multiple missing teeth or having no teeth at all. And so I think they're really saving lives in that respect, and also really helping with people's quality of life. So that dental clinic is continuing to go on, and it's going to go throughout this week, from what I understand. But to answer your question, there is a need for, I think, for a dentistry here, and I don't know what that looks like regionally. I know there are dentists we have multiple dentists here in Negril. I know there are dentists in South Lamar, which is another major town, pretty close to 45 minutes from Negril. So I know the need is there. On a positive note, just got power back in White House, Westmoreland on Friday. Awesome, awesome, awesome. That's amazing. But still waiting for my shipment from November 2025. There has to be a way to make that process easier. Yeah, so that's let me see if I can bring this up. So there was this has been an issue, and man, why isn't this working? I brought it up a couple of times. And I knew about this, but I can't really, certain things I can't really go into until I get the okay, right? And I want to always be respectful of people's businesses, and just I'm not gonna, just do things willy-nilly here. So why isn't this coming up? Okay. So this article, if you guys want to read it, I'll throw it in the comment section there as well. So this article was written by Kaman White, and this was on RJR Radio Jamaica News. And shipping delays, rising costs causing congestion at ports. Shipping companies are raising alarm over severe congestion at ports across the island, citing extended delays and rising costs. Dennis Hawthorne, president and CEO of Dennis Shipping, explained that containers are remaining at ports for up to 3 months, with the merge charges soaring to $18 million since December, compared to the usual $3 to $6 million. He stressed the need for temporary warehouse solutions and government support to ease the backlog. What I recommend is that the government needs to add a warehouse, like a temporary warehouse outside the warehouse where they presently have, to accommodate it, and utilize the JDF and the police force for temporary to do this, because this is a crisis we now have in Jamaica, he said, calling it a domino effect following Hurricane Melissa. O'Shane Whittingham, general manager at Dennis Shipping, highlighted that the delays are worsened by customs not collecting their shipments, often due to misunderstandings about fees. The person who's receiving that they would not be paying a cent to get these items, but they do not realize that there is a miscellaneous charges that they would have to pay, like wharfage and handling, and the other charges that are also different from the government charge. So that's why it's there. People left the goods there and nobody's there to pick it up, he explained. He also pointed out to the limited number of warehouse capacity in Montego Bay, St. James, which has been overwhelmed in the aftermath of Melissa, disrupting normal business cycles and slowing the movement of goods. The Shipping Association of Jamaica is urging both government and the public to take immediate steps to clear cargo and restore efficient operations at the ports. Yeah, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. And it's a really, really, really big problem for Jamaica. And is, from what I understand, I don't know how they're going to do this. And, thank God it's not Christmas anymore. But as you can imagine, it's just messing up just logistics all over Jamaica, getting goods, like everything. Like we're still in it. As you can see, a fire medic is still waiting for his shipment in December. Some people in November. When I was in Treasure Beach, people were just talking about it, like who were on vacation, who shipped stuff down and still haven't got it. And man, it's a logistic nightmare. It's just a logistic nightmare. Or in Throp, one thing though, if we continue to develop to a developed stage, Flow cannot continue to provide its crappy service. It's the internet age. They have to do better, hurricane or not. Do you agree, Throp? Absolutely. Absolutely. They're supposed to be doing, I think the government in the last 2 weeks, they signed an agreement. I don't know who with who, but they're going to be doing one of those like huge lines that they're going to be, that they did like the transatlantic line between North America and Europe. They're going to be doing one from Jamaica to Florida, maybe, or the US. I'm not sure, but that was signed. That was a signed agreement a few weeks ago. But hopefully that helps. Hopefully that's able to better this internet situation. But yeah, if we're going to be moving to a first world experience and the internet age and technology, yeah, we're going to need solid, reliable internet. But we have everything here at Travelers. Like we have Flow, we have Digicel, we have Starlink. Just because you can't rely on one, we have everything, and we still have, and we maintain our network here. As you can imagine, it's like it's just always something, especially with a hotel and guests wanting it in every crevice and corner of their room and of the property and on the beach. So we're always upgrading, we're always maintaining it, but we can only do so much to maintain our own internal network if the service providers aren't doing their part. There's not a lot that we can do. So it's a challenge. I mean, I have to say, it's gotten way, 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 way better. I mean, night and day compared to like 5-7 years ago. Really just so much better. But, we should be at a point of like full stability. And this is, yeah, I'm sure some stuff has to do with Melissa, but some stuff was before Melissa, right? And so, like, let's get it right. Of course, I agree with you. Deco says, speaking of the weather, we're about to get second round of snow later on this evening, all night, heading back into tomorrow. Yeah, that Monday morning commute's going to be a thing tomorrow for sure. Spirit Tree, afternoon. Thanks for joining. Johnny Johnson, El Paso, Texas, Juarez, Mexico, tuning in. Drop Incorporated Masterclass. Thank you. Appreciate it. 96 blizzard. That's when moved to New York. Man, I never see so much snow, and we didn't have had school for like a week. That's the most snow I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, I remember that. I'll never forget it because it was my birthday. I was supposed to have my birthday party at Party Animals in Baldwin, Long Island, in New York, and I just remember like just my hand on the ledge, just looking outside my dad's window in his bedroom, just watching the snow just pile up. And it's like almost up to the window. Like it was crazy. It would have been up to, I was obviously 12, as a kid. And it would have been up to my my neck or something. I think I was 11. I was 11 turning 12. That's what it was. 11 turning 12. And I remember that snow being so tall. I was like, this is crazy. This is awesome. I loved it. And yeah, we didn't have school for a week. I definitely remember that. Paula chiming in from Jersey. Nice to have you on. Shauna, what's going on? Happy Sunday to you. Chris DDS says, as a dentist, I've been back on a dental mission trip to Montego Bay last year. We'd like to continue to do this. Please provide info on the grow opportunity. We'd love to help. Where would I send you? Who could I send you to? Can you just send me an email and I will connect you? I'm putting it. It's drop@thropmedia.com. Or you can shoot me a DM on Instagram. Yeah, you can I just put my email in the comment section. Good afternoon, because this is from Spurtree. Good afternoon, because I remember when I stayed at Travelers, the internet when I came on the balcony was not good. So I'm glad you got better. So when I visit again, yes, definitely. We've upgraded I don't know what they're called, these circular disc things, but it's so much better. It's so much better, and we're making sure like it's everywhere, because also we're seeing just a real uptick and a consistent uptick of digital nomads and people working from travelers for an extended period of time. Like they'll be here for weeks, some for months at a time, staying at travelers and doing their work, doing their business. Even a lady came to me yesterday saying that she has this big important, she's not even staying with us, but she has this big important Zoom meeting and she wants to come and use our internet here. Of course, I said, yes, no problem. But we're seeing an uptick in that. And I think too, a lot of what's happening, just speaking with people I see when their laptops out and they're just in the same spot all day, every day. It's not just what's happening in America, but just globally. And there are people, again, who are privileged enough and fortunate enough to have a job or a way of earning an income that they can do it anywhere in the world and on their laptop. And so I think it's just so awesome that they choose to do it in Jamaica, whether they're Jamaican or not. I think it's amazing. And so we're seeing an uptick in that, very, very strong uptick in that. Dennis Marshall, what's going on? Checking in on this Sunday. It's going to be a blizzard here in Jersey today. Yeah, everybody stay home, stay safe, stay warm. Only go outside if you need to. Georgina, shipping process is a disaster. Sent relief barrels since first week of November, and they got delivered last Monday. Oh my gosh, last Monday. I was also required to pay an additional fee, even though I paid for the door-to-door service delivery. Yeah, that's what the article was saying. That keeps that's kind of one of the unfortunately one of the situations where like there are additional fees that are outside of the shipper's control and it's not being communicated. And yeah, it's a disaster. I don't know how it's going to be months from what I'm being told with how much of a backlog there is. And it's going to take some time. I mean, and as you can imagine, the post-hurricane needs have drastically and dramatically changed from November, December. Drastically. And I know there's a lot of canned goods and dry goods on those shipments, which they obviously will not be wasted, but that's what was needed at the time, and that's what people were sending. So I don't know what's going to happen with that stuff. Spreadsheets call extenders because I had to put them on my property in Mandeville. Also search the Wi-Fi extenders. Yes, we have a ton of those all around. All right, caught up on all the comments. So I did want to talk about some of the productions that we have going on and update you all on what's going on with that. So as I mentioned before, I was in Treasure Beach the last week, which is awesome and definitely was it the biggest I would say the biggest production that I did. I mean, it was basically 3 full days of shooting. Definitely the most amount of memory that we've ever used on a production. The best cameras that I've used as well. And so I've talked about Treasure Beach many, many times and how much I love it there. It's my second home in Jamaica. And let me see if we can do this. No, I can't do this here. Can I do a poll here? How many people in the chat? I don't know. I don't think I can do that here. I was going to try to do a poll, but I don't want to mess this up. Hold on. Let's see if I can figure this out. I know there's a way you can do a poll. All right. Let me not mess it up. Let's just do a show of hands. If we can put the number 1 in the, could do a number 1 in the comment section. How many people here have been to Treasure Beach? Let me know if you can just put a 1. I know a lot of people are watching on their TV. Sorry. But if you're able to participate, that would be good. I just want to see kind of where we are. And so my Treasure Beach is about an hour and a half, and it's about hour and a half from Negril, excuse me. And some of my earliest memories of Jamaica are at Treasure Beach with my dad and my brothers. And it's this very, very, very special place for me and my family. And it was really an honor to be showcasing it. So what we're doing and what we've shot is basically, yeah, put a 2 if you've never been. Thank you, Shona. If you've never been to Treasure Beach, put a 2. 1 for being there, 2 if you've never been there. Thank you, Shona. And it's like a very, very special place to me. And I am with this documentary feature that we're doing. I'm sharing that with the Throp community and with you all here. And my goal really is to have you all, especially people who haven't been there, have you all fall in love with Treasure Beach just like I have. And it is such just like a really, really amazing community. And there is just, of all the people that I spoke with, of all walks of life, they're just so together. And it is in many ways like quintessential Jamaica. And everybody knows everybody, everybody has everybody's back. And as you can imagine, the last 2 years, 18 months, I would call it 2 years at this point, they have been through some really challenging and testing times with Hurricane Beryl, Hurricane Helena. Somebody reminded me that I interviewed this last week, and then also now Hurricane Melissa. And they are, the place is gorgeous. That's the other thing. The place is absolutely gorgeous. It's just like a postcard, and the people there are just so nice and so welcoming. And of course, I don't want it to change in any drastic way, at least the spirit of what makes Treasure Beach. And they are the home of community tourism. And it really is. And I'm not one of these, I will say this, I'm not one of these people who are against all inclusives. I think it has an extremely, extremely important role to play in the travel market, especially in Jamaica. All inclusives do wonders for Jamaica, absolute wonders. And there's a segment of the market that will only stay at all inclusives. Do I think they're missing out on real Jamaica? Absolutely. You know, for people who exclusively just stay there and don't leave the four walls of their hotel. But that's how people want to vacation. You know, that's how the people want to spend their free time. So I'm okay with that. Treasure Beach is like one of these places. It would be an absolute atrocity if you were to stay in an all-inclusive in Treasure Beach, because the walkability of that community is really what makes it, I'd say, just very, very unique. And it's not just the low traffic, low density aspect of it, but it's the serendipitous interactions that you have with different people, the people of Treasure Beach, the people visiting Treasure Beach. And it's just a completely, completely different vibe from the rest of the country. And it's just like this small little fishing village. I mean, truly, and it remains a fishing village. Like, so like Negril has you know, Negril has lost the fishing village charm. I think we can all agree with that. That's what Negril started out as. But Treasure Beach, it's still a strong fishing village. There's 4 beaches, 4 bays that you see all the fishermen with their boats out, and they go out fishing every day. And that plays an incredibly important role in creating the atmosphere, environment, and vibe of Treasure Beach. And if you haven't been there, let me just go back up to the votes here. So, okay, a lot of people been there. A lot of people haven't been there. You know, if you haven't been there, I highly, highly encourage you to do so on your next trip to Jamaica. You know, carve out a day or two. You can go for a day trip if you're in the grill, hour and a half there, but like I would say, my personal opinion is like you want 2 nights there, you know, and it's just such a great, for me and my family, especially me and the phase at which I am in my career, it's like a place that I just want to go there. And if I can avoid working, even though I love working, but if I can just do a lot of reading, some journaling, some reflecting, grab a massage there as well, be on the beach, like that's what I want to do there. You know, it's such an amazing place to go to recharge, to rejuvenate, and just slow things down. And then I think that's also with the walking, it forces you to do that. So like I try to just leave my car, even though I can drive different places. I just try to leave my car at wherever I'm staying, and I try to stay at different places. Sometimes we'll stay at a villa. If like I go with my family, we'll stay at, these are 2 villas that we like to stay at Turtle's Nest Villa, and then Also, Upful is another villa. I'm gonna show these. I'm gonna show because like I really like them. Uh, and this is just no plug. So I don't mind sharing this. These are great places. So these are the places that I mostly stay with my family. So this is Turtle's Nest Villa. Really, really beautiful spot. I'm gonna throw the link in there. Right on the beach. They are how many bedrooms? 1, 2, 3 bedrooms. Is it 3 bedrooms? I think it's 3 bedrooms. And Peter Gay and her team there, they're really no, 1, 2. It is 3 bedrooms. Yeah, 3 bedrooms. And the thing I love about the villa is at Treasure Beach. There's a little video there you can see. See if we can blow it up. The thing I love about Treasure Beach and renting villas here is that you can get a chef, housekeeping, and then you can either have them go grocery shopping for you, and they'll bring you breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But we usually just do breakfast, and then we'll go out for lunch and dinner because that's the other amazing thing about Treasure Beach is that I can't think of a bad meal that I've had there. Like the food that's Jamaican generally speaking, but more so Treasure Beach. The food there is amazing. Really, really, really awesome food. Every restaurant does a really fantastic job. I think it has a lot to do with being in St. Elizabeth and the breadbasket of Jamaica and just having really fresh food. And then also, of course, it being a fishing village, you're going to get fresh fish. And so I think that's like a huge advantage as to why the food is so good there and so fresh. And I think too, because it's low density and you're not having like these hordes and hordes of people, they take time in cooking and preparing their food. And so they do the same thing with in these villas. So I would, a different way of vacationing. I think, don't quote me on this. I think this villa is 500 a night, maybe 550 or something like that. 3 bedrooms, you have a couple friends or family members, you can split that up between you. The bedroom upstairs, there's 2 bedrooms upstairs, maybe it'll go to it. One has a king bed. The other one has it's either 2 fulls or 2 queens. This is the main, I guess this is the master bedroom down here. Yeah, they're getting a free plug. It's okay, they deserve it. So that's Turtle's Nest. Really cool. The other one, this is Upful. Oops. Right, and they're in Old Wharf. We'll get to the map in a second. And this is Upful, very beautiful. This has more bedrooms. I want to say, let me see if I can remember. 1, 2. I want to say this is 4 bedrooms. No. 1, 2, 3. I think this is 4 bedrooms. And there's like a little nook upstairs. This is where I got put in. So you can have 5, and there's like couches. This is where we have breakfast out here by the pool. And again, you can hire the team. That's what I would recommend, especially if you're on vacation, you just want to chill. It's better if you buy your food, go grocery shopping. That's what sometimes we're just in a rush leaving the grill and we don't have a chance. But it's better to buy your groceries, bring it to the house, and they'll put it away for you and cook breakfast for you. This one is not on the beach, but it's everything in Treasure Beach is right near the beach. So you're not that far. Very spacious, a lot of great natural sunlight, as you can see. This is like 2 doors over from Turtle's Nest. I will, did I put that I'll put that in excuse me. This is the Airbnb, but book directly. I say book directly with these hotels, with these villas. Let me see if we can get their direct website. Okay, don't go to Airbnb. Because they take a percentage, so it's always better to book directly if you can, if it's convenient for you. All right, let's keep rolling here. Let me answer some questions here. Lady RW says Turtle Nest is beautiful. I've stayed there before with family. Awesome, awesome. Rich says, is there a tour company that provides tours to different parts of the island like Treasure Beach? I'm a solo traveler and want to explore, but I don't drive in JA. And solo excursions are costly. I don't know of a tour company like where like you're getting on with a bus with other people. I don't know of that. That's not a good idea, but I don't know of that existing. Usually people are, yeah, they're organizing their own trips with their own groups of people, but I would say, you could do it yourself. You could do it yourself. But yeah, it could be a little costly for sure to hire transportation to go there directly from one part of the island to the other. But then also now we have the advent of Nuxford Express. Then we also have the I forget the name of it, but it's basically the government's version of Nuxford Express. So there is affordable, reliable, quality transportation available that could get you to any part of the island if you're a solo traveler. So it's very, very possible to do it yourself. Claude Mayer says, does it matter the number of people staying? Yes, there is a limit, but it's on the website, so check it out. So check it out for either one. Spurtree says, bro, that is so nice of you. It's not your place, and you're talking about it, even though you have a hotel. This is what we need. Trust me, I love that. Help each other. Beautiful and beautiful. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I was just watching an interview with Magic Johnson. He was talking to his interviewer. The first time I was watching this interviewer, what is the same thing that you were talking about, but about business, and they were saying that we need to stop being afraid. We need to collaborate with each other, meaning just like how you said, giving this place plug. I've never heard about it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, good. I mean, and I'd love for you to go there. And so that's like the villa lifestyle, if you will, villa options that you can have. And let me see if I could bring up the map here. So let's go to Treasure Beach here. So it's on the south coast of Jamaica. Let's see how my Treasure Beach geography is. Okay. What am I reading this? Okay. I got it. Okay. This is Jake's here. This looks way better. This is not updated. This looks way, way, way better. But I'm gonna go to Calabash Bay, Old Wharf. Okay, so this is Old Wharf. This is where we were just at. This is Koch Villa. I'm really testing myself here. Okay, got it. Okay, so this is Upville right here. Oh, hold on. So, yeah, this is Upville right here. This is Old Wharf, and then this is Turtle's Nest. So Turtle's Nest is here. You have beach access, and Upville, you don't have direct beach access, but as you can see, it's right here. And you know what's also lovely about Treasure Beach? It's not Negril Beach by any means, by any stretch of the imagination, with the white sand. It's very corally, some aspects of the beach, but it's like a really, really nice walk. Some parts are a little bit technical. I've actually done it barefoot before, just kind of walking across the coastline here. And then it's also a lovely place to run, especially in the morning. So if I'm staying at Turtle's Nest, let's say, like I would run here and then run back to the main road and then run all over. Not the flattest place, to be honest, but I love it. It's great training, and you can just walk everywhere. You just take your time walking to different places, go to Jake's, go to Sunset, go to Lashings, great places to eat, great places to hang out. I definitely encourage you to check it out. You got it about Nuxford Express. I will look into Nuxford when I come in May. Awesome. Good for you. So yeah, getting back to this shoot that we did. We're also, and this is of course trying to get you all to fall in love with Treasure Beach, just like I have. But we're also visiting there for ThropX in May, and we are ThropX in May. We're visiting there on the 28th of May. We're going to Treasure Beach. We're visiting Treasure Bay Estates, which is the biggest development in Treasure Beach. And the awesome thing about that, it is that development is being done by a born and raised Treasure Beachian. I don't know what you call him, but he's doing it on his family's land, and the place it's beautiful, beautiful. The views are amazing, and the story is amazing. The story is so awesome. Like, and I can't wait for you all to see and hear this story and to see this property. I can tell you right now, you are going to be so proud of Jamaica. You're going to be so proud of this Jamaican in a very, very big way. And there are a lot of, as we've discussed on this channel, particularly on this live stream over the years, and especially in the last few months, there's a lot of unfortunate experiences that have been happening with people and developers in Jamaica. You know, unscrupulous things, developers just taking off more than they can handle, greed being one of them, and people just not getting what they paid for, are just being completely ripped off, and lawsuits happening left, right, and center with developers in Jamaica. And it is just so refreshing, so refreshing to have gone to Treasure Beach and have sat down with Bernard Henry, who's the developer at Treasure Bay Estates, and learn about his story, his family story, his commitment to Jamaica, his commitment to Treasure Beach, and his pride as a Jamaican. And I guarantee when you see this, you are going to be so proud of this Jamaican. You're going to be so proud of Jamaica. And these are the stories that we want to tell, you know, and these are the stories we want to put out there so people know that this is how your relationship with the developer should be. And this is what should be your minimal expectation. And you're gonna, like, talking with him, like, you just want to give him your money. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's got a fabulous product. The timing is amazing. And then he's doing it for the right reason, for the right people. And it's just so very much integrated into the Treasure Beach, the spirit of Treasure Beach, and into the Treasure Beach community. And he is putting community first in his development. He really, really is. And again, I can't wait for you all to see and meet him and learn about the development that he's doing. But I think this is a lesson, hopefully, to other developers out there. And if it's not a lesson to the other developers out there or people who are thinking about becoming developers, it's definitely a lesson for, I would say, the consumer, you know, and to trying to get insight into this developer's head. And then even as I say that, like, we're doing, we did another shoot with Vista Bella. I mean, another family focused, community focused development that's happening right here in Negril. It's the biggest housing development in Negril by far. And the location is amazing. And again, the family, like, again, you're going to be very, 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 very proud Jamaicans. Trust me, you're going to be proud of this Mr. Daly and his two daughters, and this being a family business. Very, very committed to Jamaica, very committed to Westmoreland, and committed to Negril, and the history of their family, of the impact that they had on the development of Negril is unworldly. I learned a lot. So all these things I'm very, very excited to share with you all, and great stories, but also incredible opportunities. And as I opened this stream with, the content that we're creating is very much in line with what's happening in Jamaica, particularly in the real estate sector. And it's an exciting time for Jamaica in many ways. And I'm just so happy that the people who are doing these projects are the people who are doing these projects. And these are the people that we want to be in this type of leadership, and to be, I don't know if steering the direction is the right word, but yeah, I think we can say that, you know, that's the right terminology, like, but steering the direction of the country in the right way and doing it for the right reasons. And it's something that you all can be a part of, you know, I think. And if you're not ready for it now, even in this, it's still early days, you know, and I don't want people to think that, oh, they're missing out and this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, even though we will be presenting at least one once in a lifetime opportunity coming up soon. But with by and large, a lot of the things that we're going to be bringing and presenting to the channel, opportunities of this nature, it will come along, you know, and I always tell people, like, don't feel rushed, you know, don't feel like, oh, I gotta buy now, this will never happen again. If there is instances like that and like the uniqueness of the time of doing that, like, I will let you know, and like I will let you know. It's just like, you know, prepare yourself. But if you're up and coming, so to speak, and you're putting your finances together, just continue to prepare. Just continue to prepare, and the timing will be right at some point where an opportunity comes along and it aligns with where you are in the phase in your life and your family's life and what you want and need to do. But you just want to put yourself in a position to be ready for that time. And, you know, again, perhaps you're not ready right now, but maybe in 3 years, maybe in 5 years, maybe in 7 years, you will be, you know, you will be. So I just want to encourage everybody and not feel this FOMO or this pressure to put something down now and to buy something down now, because or else you'll never have the opportunity. It's still early days in many respects. Excuse me. Sitting here watching says, I remember seeing Black Sand by Treasure Beach Hotel. Oh man, Treasure Beach Hotel is for sale. And so we're actually going to be going there for ThropX this year. We're going to be going there when we go to Treasure Beach. And like I said, we're going to be going to Treasure Bay Estates for sure, but I want you to see all of Treasure Beach. So we're going to be there 8 hours all day for ThropX this year. And I'm really looking forward to it. Like, so you're getting, for those that are unaware, ThropX is my Jamaica investment conference, and I host it every year, usually in November. But last November we had a little storm pass through, so we had to push it to May. So we're doing it in May from the 24th to the 30th, and this is your opportunity to learn from really some of the greatest minds in investing in real estate in Jamaica. And these are all professionals that I have personally vetted, most of them who I've worked with. And you have 2 days of panel discussions. So it's week long. So it's almost a week long from Sunday to Saturday. So Sundays are welcome. Monday and Tuesday are panel discussions. We have a real estate day. We have a getting business done day. If you're going to be I want to get into starting a business, an entrepreneur, that's what that day is about. And then the 2 exciting days are the real estate days. So we're doing one day, we're doing a real estate tour here in Negril. And on the second day, we're doing a real estate tour in Treasure Beach, both of them are all day events. And very excited for both, but definitely really excited to be getting out in Negril for the second time on these real estate tours and going to Treasure Beach and going to the South Coast. And, you know, you're going to, not that this is like some sort of tourist attraction or anything, but we're going to go through Black River and you're going to really see for yourself the devastation of what happened with Melissa, and like kind of get a true understanding of what lies ahead in terms of the rebuild. So that's also part of it. And we are still making connections with partners in the region to kind of get a insight, particularly with Black River, of what's going to happen and how we can help be a part of the rebuild process as a Throp community. And then that's Wednesday, Thursday. And then Friday is our Getting Business Done Day. As we were talking earlier on the stream here, an important part about doing business in Jamaica is getting your TRN. So we work with the Tax Administration Office of Jamaica to get your TRN done right here at Travelers Beach Resort, where the conference is held. And so you don't have to go to, South Lamar or another city to go and sit down in a tax office to get your TRN. You'll do it right here in the comfort of the hotel on the beach in our conference room. And then you will also have the opportunity to open a bank account. You know, this is one of our most popular days in previous, 2024 now, in previous ThropX's, where you can get your TRN, which you need to open a bank account, and you can open a bank account with Victoria Mutual or VM, and you get it right there on the spot. You don't have to go sit in a bank or wait in line. All of that is done, is conveniently here at Travelers. And we're doing it in a way now. We're using the Hoover app. I don't know if people are familiar with the Hoover app, but this is going to be the software that is going to be managing this conference. So all of your appointments, all of the real estate listings, all of the agenda, the communication, all of it will be done through this app, which is an amazing app. I've used it at several YouTube conferences that I've gone to, and I'm very happy and proud to be using it this year for the first time at ThropX in May, and then again ThropX in November, because we're having 2 ThropXs this year. And so you will no longer you can be on the beach, you can sign up for your TRN appointment, you can sign up for your appointment to open up your bank account, and then when your time is up, you can come upstairs and sit down with the tax administration professionals and then the banking professionals to get your TRN and open your bank account respectively. And that's Friday. And then Friday night is our farewell dinner. And it's an all-white farewell dinner. So I just want to let everybody know, we'll put in the email, but please bring your all whites to ThropX. And then Saturday it's a free day, but we have a boat ride, I love that. That's one of the highlights. And we'll be doing a catamaran boat ride on the west end of Negril. We've done the land real estate tour, and now we can do the water or sea real estate tour and see Negril from the ocean, from the sea, and also the west end. And it's fun. It's a party straight up, and it's just going to be us. So that's ThropX in a nutshell. Would love to have you. If you want more information, you can go to thropx.com, and it is a great community. It really, really is an extension of this online community. And I always say that you get tremendous value out of coming to ThropX, from the education on the panel days, physically seeing the real estate opportunities that are available both in Negril and also Treasure Beach. And then you get your TRN and you open up your bank accounts, which is all fantastic and fabulous. But to me, what I've learned over the years, the real selling point is you all. At the end of the day, it's the networking, it's the people who come. I'm just so proud, like really, really high quality individuals doing great, amazing things with their own individual lives. And 2 examples that I love to give and point out in terms of that speak to the power of this group and the power of this network of people who come to this conference. I guess 3 years ago now, a bunch of you all came as strangers to ThropX, and we visited a hotel on the real estate tour. And the hotel was going for $3 million. Nobody had $3 million in their pocket ready to go. And instead of walking away from the deal, a bunch of you all got together and said, hey, if we each put in $100,000, we can get 30 of us put $100,000 together, we can buy this hotel. And that's exactly what happened. And I think it's a beautiful thing of strangers coming to this conference and then turning into business partners and acquiring property. And that's the way it should be, contributing or pooling our resources to buy assets and turn them into just value-driven assets, going from non-performing assets to performing assets. And it's a beautiful thing. And that's the power of ThropX, bringing together like-minded individuals, well-thinking, smart, and have the ability to go in on investments and create opportunity amongst each other. That was never my intention to go there and do this, but it happens when, when you put good people together, you put smart people together, like these things happen, and it's awesome. And and there's dominoes that have fallen since then, and it's changing the landscape of Negril, changing the landscape of the residency of Negril, of the population of Negril. And that all started at ThropX. That all started at my conference. And I'm very, very proud of it, extremely, extremely proud of it. And it continues to roll on. Those dominoes continue to fall. And again, it's changing the direction of Negril. The second thing I always like to point to in terms of the power of the network of ThropX is that we've had 2 marriages come out of ThropX so far, where individuals have met at the conference and they've gotten married, and I think it's just so awesome. But again, it speaks to the quality of people that come there and the quality of people that you'll meet there and the power of this community. And I think it's awesome. And I think that's one of the, I guess, 2 of the examples that I give of the type of people who come to this conference. And I have no doubt there will be some groundbreaking, historic happenings and networking that will take place in May. for sure, especially as we go to Treasure Beach this year. And we've calculating the other day, we've done in on this channel altogether. This is no exaggeration. We've done over $100 million US dollars of deal flow on this channel, on this platform. Over 100 million US dollars. We started this in summer of 2020, almost 6 years. That's incredible. Like I'm like so proud of that we've been able to bring that sort of value to Jamaica, a lot of that here in the grill. And we're continuing to roll on. We're continuing to roll on and continuing to bring value to Jamaica, help build Jamaica like in a real way. And we're bringing a lot of money to the country, and it's you all. It's not me. It's you all who are doing it, and I'm just a facilitator at the end of the day. That's the way I look at it as my job, and just bringing people together, bringing capital together, and creating value for you. And then that's always been my mindset. Is like, man, how do I create the most value for people who are part of this community? And I'm honored that you are spending we're an hour and 40 minutes. I'm honored that you spend an hour and 40 minutes of your Sunday morning, afternoon with me, maybe even longer if you were watching the podcast release that we did this morning at 11 a.m. And I don't take that for granted, and I don't want to waste your time. And I will always be, how can I give back first and more? And so we have so much of that coming into the future. Really, really, really so much coming along those lines in the near future. So if you want more information on ThropX, you can take a look at the website, thropx.com, and you can sign up for our newsletter, which we haven't put out in a long time, but we have newsletters coming. We've just been tied down with all these productions. I promise more information and communication will be normalized in the next few weeks. All right, let's get back to the comments here. Rich, as a child of JA descent, I love the idea of investing in Jamaican-owned properties. Yes, and we have so many. Majority of what we're going to be talking about is Jamaican-owned properties, Jamaican developers, Jamaicans who are part of the diaspora, who were born here, now part of the diaspora, but who are using their resources, knowledge, information, education to invest and build up Jamaica. So a lot of great stories along those lines that are coming, and opportunities along those lines coming. Shauna says, what are your thoughts on certain geopolitical events, impacts, relocation, future real estate planning, etc.? Can you be more specific? There's a lot going on. I can take that question so many ways, Shauna. Let me know if there's a specific way you want me to answer that or respond to that. Johnny Johnson says Shirley Chisholm and her husband, a Jamaican. I was living in Harborview, Kingston, Jamaica. Took minibus to Negril often. Awesome. Very cool. Bunty says, he's asking Johnny Johnson, a little storm, right? Donovan says, love this show. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. AJ Silva says, sincere congratulations on your accomplishments. This is an inspiration to plan using my own skills to create value. Exactly. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you for that. That's great to hear. Great to hear. Robert Smith says, please hit the like button. Yes, it helps out a lot. Please do. At Throp, this is from Punty. Love, pure love. Good for them. 2 marriages, the magic of Jamaica. Yes, definitely. Sitting here watching says, is that method going to be used for the Treasure Beach Hotel? I don't know. It doesn't necessarily have to be. It's pretty high though. That was the thing. Let me see if we can find it. I love looking at real estate with you guys too. We haven't done that in a while. Just look at real estate listings. All right. Mic check. Mic check. There we go. All right. That wasn't. Is that going to be the message used for? All right. Hold on. I think it's about to storm outside. I think that's what it is. With the weather, that is. Why isn't that working? Still think we're having an issue with the internet. 1 second. All right, let's give this a try now. Okay, got it. All right, so we're looking at the Treasure Beach Hotel for sale. All right, yeah, so it's for sale, $7 million. Let's take a look at it. Sorry, I'm trying to see how many rooms they have. Land size is 354,000 square feet. Um, 32. Okay, so Treasure Beach Hotel spans over 8 acres of beachfront in the heart of Treasure Beach and Elizabeth, Jamaica region, known for its laid-back charm and welcoming community. Guests are embraced like family, quickly become part of the local rhythm. The main building includes administrative office, reception, dining room, bar, kitchen, and a conference room, ideal for retreats. 8 residential stories offering 32 private guest rooms designed for relaxation. Leisure amenities feature 2 swimming pools, a hot tub, rooftop dining, and 2 bars, including a poolside bar. Additional facilities include Helpers Quarters, a snack bar, lush tropical gardens. Sustainability is built in the walls, a large water tank, solar tank systems, and a standby generator zone for commercial use. The hotel enjoys its own beach. Savvy investors may explore strata options to sell individual units. Hey, they're taking our idea. With over 2 acres of vacant land, there's ample space for expansion and new development. This is a rare investment opportunity, perfect for boutique hospitality, wellness retreats, our ecotourism ventures, and one of Jamaica's most serene coastal enclaves. The only thing, oh, Georgina, you're too kind. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate that. That is unexpected. Thank you for that very, very much. I really do. I'm going to leave that right up there. So yes, 7 million is a lot. So the thing is, we can go through the pictures. The thing about this that these pictures don't really present is that the property is extremely run down. Like it is in one of the worst shapes you can possibly imagine. Like none of this is here. None of like windows are broken out completely. And I saw this before Melissa. I can only imagine what it looks like right now, but it does not look anywhere near this. And so when I see like anytime I'm assessing a hotel, right? And if I'm going to buy it as a hotel, so $7 million, $18,000 per room. How are you going to make that money back? Like you will have to put in, I mean, my own little 8 acres, all these amenities. I mean, you're probably going to need to put in minimum 2 million, but I'm leaning toward $3 million. You're going to Like, so you're looking at a $10 million investment, 32, that's $312,000 per room. And if you're going to do, and say we do go hotel, right? Say we go hotel and let's say you're able to charge $400 a night at this hotel. Let me see if they have the square footage of the rooms. I could tell you right now, the rooms are small to medium in size. It's going to be very difficult to charge $400 a night for a room. It's very, very difficult. But let's say you do. $400 per room. And and honestly, I think you're probably closer to 200. I think that's way more realistic. That's what you want to do. You want to be extremely conservative with your numbers. Yeah, I would go with 200, to be honest. If I'm analyzing this as a potential investment, I'm going to do $200 a night. Number two. So you have a maximum earning potential of $6,400 per night, which you're obviously not going to get. But let's say, the last time I checked, the average occupancy of a hotel in Jamaica, if I'm not mistaken, it was 60%. So let's times that by 60. So let's 3,840 times 3,840 times 365. That's 1.4 million. That's $1.4 million a year that you would earn, and no first couple of years, maybe. So let's do this. 400 potentially with these numbers, $400,000 a year. It's going to take you 20 years to make your money back, basically, more than 20 years. Yeah, it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense. It's going to take you 25 years to make your money back. So the numbers on this kind of stuff doesn't add up. Let's go the strata way, right? And like what we just said. So again, let's go $10 million all in, divided by 32 rooms, 312,000. So you'd have to sell, if you want to say buy the hotel, update the rooms to a decent standard plus the rest of the property, you're going to sell, it will cost you $312,000 to acquire and refurbish each room. And then you'd have to put on, obviously, whatever your margin is. It doesn't even make sense. I'm not even going to calculate. It doesn't even make sense to sell those rooms for $400,000 or even $350,000, $325,000. Doesn't even make sense. So it's going to take a unique investor, with a lot of money to do that. I'm not saying that it's not worth. Somebody may look at this and say this is worth $7 million. Maybe somebody may look at this and say it's worth 10. I'm willing to pay 7. And they may have a different type of plan, to use the empty 2 acres to develop and put more rooms there. But again, I don't know, how much can you possibly get per night? $500 per night. Maybe you can get $500 per night. I don't know. 500. That's a lot. At least in 2026. What are your amenities going to be? I don't know. That's how I do these back of the envelope calculations on these investments. But yeah, that's Treasure Beach Hotel. We'll be visiting it, and then too, maybe it doesn't make sense in May, but I plan, as far as I know right now, I'm planning to go there, and I try to give as much of a variety on the available investment options and opportunities on these real estate tours and at Thropex as much as I possibly can. So, we'll visit just land. We'll visit turnkey units and homes. We'll visit developments that only have the road and the electricity foundation put in, that sort of thing. So, and we'll also visit hotels, of course, of all different states. And that's what I try to give as much of a diversity in different types of opportunities. All right. Let's keep rolling here. Yep, 7 mil. Georgina says, Throp, you provide us with valuable and free information. You are appreciated. Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you again for the donation. Really appreciate that. Hey, Throp, I think you should check out Michael Lee Chin's CVM interview. I saw him on there. I didn't watch it, but thank you for the reminder. I will check it out. Thank you for that. Rich, you have me excited. I'm booking to return to JA in May. I'm going to check out details for ThropX. Awesome. Would love to have you. Please, take a look. Continuation on the conversation of taxes. I disagree with tourism tax, 10 to 15%. Same here. We're going to save that. We talked about it last week, but I'll touch on it. I can touch on it. Oh, and Shauna, give me what you mean for the question. I don't know if I missed it. How would you want me to answer it? James Williams says 3 million at best. That's where my head is at, especially maybe it's, I don't know. I was going to say, maybe it lowered because of Melissa, but it's still there. It seems like a lot. Seems like a lot for what you get. And this is just my hotelier brain. Gonna look at these opportunities. Or and I agree with taxes on everything else except tourists. Okay. Melanin says, who does these evaluations? What metrics or comps are they using? I see some properties sit for years. Yep. That's what tends to happen a lot with these things. And I don't know the answers to those questions. You have to do something in Jamaica hotelier business to stop 90% of money leaving our wonderful island, right? I'm not sure if I understand that question, Thames. Could you just clarify a little bit? What's the land value? I'm not sure. These are all good questions. James Williams says, please tell your friends in Treasure Beach to plant back palm trees. It's ideal. Chris Charles, can't wait for more opportunities. You guys in these terms, Chris, I am stealing that. Opportunities. I'm 100% stealing that. All right. I think we're going to take 2 hours. 2 hours flies, I tell you. Really, really flies. All right. What are we going to play here? Today, we're visiting the Pinnacle's beautiful 2-bedroom sample apartment located on the 3rd floor of Tower 1, the Swallowtail Tower. This unit is lagoon-facing, offering open water views and a peaceful backdrop that defines the overall atmosphere of this space. This tour will give you a real sense of what to expect from these residents and what living will feel like here. The apartment features a double balcony, ensuite bathrooms, and a thoughtful layout designed for comfort and flow. So come along and join us for this stunning apartment tour. So Kanya, this is a 2-bedroom that we're seeing, the concept 2-bedroom.
Yes, this is our 1299 square feet lagoon facing 2-bed.
Okay, and we are on the 3rd floor?
We're on the 3rd floor. And remember, living starts on the 3rd floor. So this is the lowest possible level to live, lowest view that you'll get. Everything else is elevated, it goes up. So it's 1299 square feet. It's open concept, living, dining, kitchen. 9.5 feet is the distance between the ceiling and the floor. Category 5, hurricane-proof windows and doors. Quartz countertops, recessed lights, central air, And the furniture, of course, is for staging purposes.
Okay, and so everybody will have an opportunity to choose and design, decorate.
It depends.
Okay.
So in the residential tower, this tower, yes.
Okay.
But if you're in the Canary Tower and you're going to want to put your unit back with the hotel, we have a tier, different options that you can choose from.
Okay. So obviously fully customizable, dream furniture, dream table.
Of course,
that you want.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Beautiful. And now moving into the bedroom, which bedroom
Primary
is this?
bed.
This is the primary bed.
This is primary bed. So you get this view. It's a rainy day, but still a beautiful view.
Definitely.
From this primary bed, look at the space. It's a king size bed, night tables. You can recline here, ensuite bathroom with a wet room, right? Because you have your big bath where you can soak, and then there's also a shower.
So that's one thing that I really like about this is that
The space.
this space.
The
I didn't
space.
know that's what it's called, the wet room.
I just had a client say to me the other day, that's not really a bathroom, it's a wet room. And I'm like, yeah, it is a wet room.
is.
It's a wet room. You close this door and it's a wet room.
And it definitely has that indoor-outdoor feeling.
Yes. And you won't be outside looking in. You won't be able to see, but you can stay inside and look outside. So you can be soaking while taking in that view.
Yeah, nobody can see you.
Yes.
That's good. That's awesome. Oh, I love the layout. I love the tall ceilings as well. I'm a huge fan.
Of high ceilings. Yeah.
Definitely.
Very nice.
And you
All right.
get 2 balconies here.
Yes. So you have one to the left and then one in front and then this one. Ooh, you feel that breeze?
Yeah.
This one goes all the way down to the secondary bed.
And I also like the fact that each bedroom has its own bathroom.
And closet.
And closet, right.
Own bathroom and closet. So you can have your own privacy. One thing else that I like about this, about all the units, although it's central air, each unit still has their own control. So you can have the AC out here. The master one is on. You can adjust it to what you want in your bedroom, on, off, whatever the temperature. You can do that in your bedroom.
Very nice.
Closet space, bathroom. See how the lights came on? See how the lights came on? I didn't touch anything.
I love it. Nice. Very nice. Again, tall ceilings, tall enclosure as well.
A lot of space for showering.
Tons and tons of space. I love the inset as well. Anytime I go, it feels like a hotel, you know. And
The finishes? Yes.
The finishes, but anytime I go to a hotel, like the bathroom is so important. And having that, as simple as that is, it is a huge convenience.
It is, absolutely.
Very beautifully designed. And this behind us was the balcony.
This is a balcony with more views.
Very nice.
Grade 12A porcelain tiles. And same, we're consistent with the windows and doors. 9.5 feet. Category 5 hurricane proof.
Excellent. And we just went through Melissa. Still here. No problem.
here.
Nothing. No issue at all.
No damages at all.
And I would presume that because the glass is so thick and it is made for that type of impact, that's why it's so quiet in here.
Exactly.
And you don't hear the outside traffic or even the rain that is coming down right now.
You hear nothing from outside.
That's crazy.
There's construction going on right now. You don't hear any construction noises. Once they're closed, that's it. It blocks out all the noise.
That's huge.
Amazing.
Talk about peace and quiet.
Peace of mind, serenity, relaxation. Yes.
Oh, this is great. And how much would a unit like this go for?
This right now is 691,000. This exact unit.
691,000.
Yes.
Man, get it while you can.
Get it while you can.
Get it while you can. Now, this is absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Kanya, for taking the
You're
time.
welcome. It was a pleasure.
I hope you enjoyed the tour of this 3rd floor, 2-bedroom, lagoon-facing apartment at the Pinnacle Swallowtail Tower. If you'd like more information on the Pinnacle, please scan the QR code on the screen or visit the link in the description below. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining the tour today. And we're going to be taking a look at the newly renovated bungalows, or otherwise now known as the cottages, which we've gone through about half of them so far. And we're looking at cottages number 4 and 8 at this time. And this is just a view of the balcony. We changed the entrance from being in the middle. And so if you are familiar with the property, there used to be an entrance for 2 rooms in one of these bungalow housing structures, and now each bungalow, each room has their own entrance to the side and a little bit more privacy as well, because we split the balconies. So you don't necessarily have to talk to the neighbor if you don't want to, but you can of course go around if you would like. And moving into the room itself, these are brand new beds and frames and new design with the throw pillows and the standard pillows in the back there. And then you can also see the kitchenette unit that we renovated, and we'll get to in a second. Also, we added a working desk with a charging station, so you have USB and also Type-C there as well, right below the television. And that's for anybody who wants to get some work done, especially those work from home people. And this is a wider view of the room. And I just want to make note of the AC, because these used to be fan cooled rooms, and now we inputted, got rid of the louver windows. And so now it's completely sealed up, if you will, with, as far as the windows go, brand new windows. And also want to bring attention to the ceilings. So the ceilings used to be flat, and now we brought them up to an apex to give a little bit more room and make it feel a little bit more spacious, but still maintain the coziness. And also bringing some more attention to the far right corner of the kitchenette that we have, and we'll get to that in a second, and also the newly renovated bathroom. So we basically gutted this entire place. Even the floor tiles are brand new as well. And this is another angle of the bed, and just want to bring some attention to the LED bed frame, as well as the embedded nightstands and lamps, and another view of the kitchenette, I should say. And as you can see, it has basically all the utensils and tools that you might need to cook a meal. Included is a mini fridge there down on the left, and a hot plate, coffee maker, ice bucket, all the knives and utensils that you may need to feed a small family. Not necessarily Thanksgiving dinner, but you can definitely chef it up in there, especially if you're staying for an extended period of time. This might be a perfect type of accommodation for you. And that essentially is the kitchen. And now moving on to the bathroom. And as I mentioned before, like floor to ceiling, new floor tiles, new ceiling tiles. We got the LED frame around the mirror just to give a little bit more lights. We changed out the square louver windows for the ship window, I guess you can call it. And we got the rainfall shower head and the glass frame shower door. Even the towel holders, those are all new. And again, trying to bring together everything in the room, the kitchenette, and to complete the cottage experience, if you will. So very happy and proud of how this was done, and really wanted to give a modern look and feel to this new room category, the cottage. And so also with this wide angle, want to bring attention to the closet. So you got some drawer space there, and you got some hanging space as well, and your safe, of course, and the ironing board is on the other side in between the closet and the window there. And yeah, another angle of the room, and also want to bring attention to that long standing mirror there, so full frame mirror. And that essentially is the bungalow. And this is kind of our way of paying homage to my dad and where he started from with this hotel, Travelers Beach Resort. Started right with one bungalow and grew to the 60 room. All right, we are back. Thanks for hanging around. Thanks for sticking around. Let's get back to it. Get warm in here. All right, where were we? Bunty says, I like the Pinnacle because at least I have a place to park my yacht. I think that's the biggest selling point for all of us. So we can park our yachts there. Claude Maris asked, what's the HOA, the monthly HOA fee? I'm not sure. And it also depends on the type of investment that you do there. So you can, the Swallowtail, for example, the first tower that we were in, that's going to be a residential tower, but then also you can purchase or buy into their rental property. So they will rent it out for you. They don't do Airbnb, which I think it's great, especially if you're going to be living there. I think that's really, really good. And they actually manage rentals for you, and they take a percentage of that cut. And so I would definitely reach out to them. It's well worth it. Very, very great sales team, super professional. And just let them know that you saw it here. You scan the QR code, or you can click the link in the description below and give them a call or shoot them an email. They'd love to hear from you, I promise. Dame says, beautiful accommodation at the cottage. Thank you very much. That's one of our new ones. Let's keep going here. Shauna says, already posted in the chat. Scroll up. I'm not seeing it. I tried to. The last comment that I see was, Throp here again. As you're probably hearing, Jamaica is on an unprecedented economical tear, and I know many people are interested to learn how they might be able to buy property in Jamaica, move here, or even start a business. Enter ThropX. This is my annual Jamaica investment conference hosted at Travelers Beach Resort in Negril, Jamaica. If you're even considering moving to or investing in Jamaica, this is the best low-risk opportunity to do your due diligence and network with the very people driving the country forward. This event brings together a group of hand-picked, trusted, top-of-their-field individuals, the best developers, contractors, real estate pros, lenders, and government partners, all under one roof to help you make your move. This is very much an action-focused premium conference experience geared towards empowering you with the tools and team necessary to create your Jamaica dream. We've partnered with the Tax Administration of Jamaica to help you get your TRN and even open a bank account, all conveniently located on conference property. One of the most popular parts of the conference is the real estate tour. It's the best way to understand Jamaica's real estate market, seeing and experiencing properties firsthand so you can compare apples to apples. Another incredibly valuable part of the conference is the people you will meet. Attendees have been some of the most dynamic, inspiring individuals I have met doing incredible things with their lives. As always, this year will be fun, educational, and actionable, giving you the tools, insights, and connections to invest, build, and move to Jamaica. For more information, please visit thropx.com and join our mailing list. All right. I think we're okay. The camera died. Actually, I don't know how that happened because it's plugged in. Maybe it's not getting enough juice. All right, we're back. All right, let's get to Shauna's question here. What are your thoughts on certain geopolitical events impacts relocation, future real estate planning, etc.? And you're going to maybe off screen for okay. Maybe you're going to give further context with that. So I will until you put in more context here in the comment section, I will answer it as I'll interpret it how I interpret it. Let's just put it that way. So, I mean, a lot going on globally, and especially with immigration. And so I think all of it is affecting everything, right? So you just copy and paste it. If you see it, why don't you copy and paste it? So anyway, sorry. But anyway, there's a lot going on with immigration, and I think everything affects everything. So if you look at even now the flow of people, I don't know, I don't have any evidence, like numerical evidence to back up what I'm about to say, but I would imagine this just makes sense what's happening. That now the US has made it harder for Jamaicans and a bunch of other countries, but we're going to focus and talk about Jamaica right now. But it's made Jamaicans getting a visa and their entry to the United States more difficult. And now less Jamaicans are leaving the island to go to the United States for opportunities, vacation, maybe even vacations. And anyway, it's a lot harder to get a US visa. And so that remains to me creates two other paths, right? And so you have an individual that their plan was to go to the United States, maybe for work, school, vacation, but now they either can't or it's a lot harder for them to do so. So they're either going to sorry, it's one of those days. Trying to be patient here. But I'm not sure which way those individuals are leaning, whether they're going to just stay in Jamaica or they're going to go to another country, Canada or region, Europe, or somewhere else, maybe South America or Latin America. But I think it's less Jamaicans are leaving to go to the United States. I think that's pretty clear. I think we can say that confidently. I would think a spin-off of that is that we will be keeping a larger percentage, and I'm not saying this is it's a big amount, but a larger percentage of our Jamaican talent here in Jamaica, which could be a good thing. I also think on the opposite side of things, where there are Jamaicans who are in the diaspora who are in a real way living what's happening, particularly in the United States. And even non-diasporians, people who, again, as we were saying in the earlier part of the stream, how much of a privilege it is to have the ability to get up and move from one country to another, from another city to another city, because you are either unhappy or you don't have the quality of life, or you have an opportunity in another country, another part of the world, wherever it may be. It is a huge privilege, and people are exercising that privilege and exercising that right in real ways. And some people are choosing to do that and move here to Jamaica and to do remote work here for extended period of time, to sell their assets in their former home country and deciding to set up shop here. And maybe this, in a lot of ways, this may have already been in the back of those people's minds, and they wanted to do it anyway. And this was just what's going on now was just a straw that broke the camel's back. And they're like, hey, now is the time. But there has been, we've had a lot of great examples of these people, these individuals come on and talk about their move from England to Jamaica to start an architecture company. And I don't know if you all remember Malela and her husband, and they're having like this incredibly huge impact on Jamaica's architecture, in the direction that the country is going in. And think about, and I'm not saying that you need to come and have that sort of impact, but like, think about yourself and you as an individual and the skills that you have acquired and you have built up, whether you're in the Jamaican diaspora or you're not. And I would assume, again, most and a lot of people who are on this stream have some interest of either spending more time in Jamaica or further building their relationship with Jamaica, whatever that may look like. But nonetheless, I bet 99% of the time, 9 out of 10 people out there, you have an extreme amount of value and wealth of knowledge to bring to the table and to bring to Jamaica that would have an exponential impact on the country and the community that you decide to join, as opposed to being in the US, Canada, or Europe. And maybe you're just another architect. Maybe you're just another electrician. Maybe you're just another carpenter. And I don't mean to downplay you, your career, or anything like that. That's not my goal here, what I'm trying to accomplish. I'm just saying you are a big fish in a small pond. And the pond that you're in here in Jamaica, it's growing, it's transforming, and it's evolving. And there are great opportunities to help accelerate that growth, that evolution, and that forward movement of the country. And so there's a lot happening as I interpret your question, Shauna, of the geopolitical situation around the world, and again, most particularly in the United States, that there are I would call them serendipitous anomalies that would have otherwise not have occurred if it weren't for the creation of the status that we find ourselves in, because we were on a, I would say, minus 20 years ago, maybe even 15 years ago, we were on a very predictable path of what our future was going to look like as a globe and who the superpowers were going to be and where technology was going. And like now we are in transition. I think we can all agree on that, regardless of, it's especially irrespective of your political affiliation or where you stand on these global issues that are happening around the world. We are in a vast transition, vast transition as humanity, as a global populace. And I've never felt this way before or felt like I've been a part of this. And I don't know if it's me being in my 40s and having this like a higher level of consciousness and also paying attention and having the experience that I've had in living in multiple countries, 2 countries. But I've never felt this way before. And it's a transition. It's a multi-level transition, right? So you have political transitions happening, global economic power transitions. Like, look, if you look at what's happening in Europe, like this is the first time in my lifetime that we're seeing Europe trying to figure out how they're going to build up their army over the army, Navy, Marines, whatever they have over there over the next 10 years. You look at the struggle between the power struggle that is between the U.S. and China. You look at the AI and technology war that's happening, and it's like it's all going to settle. It's all going to settle at some point in time. But it's like where, and how. But it's going to settle, and we are in a transition phase. And I think it's important to recognize that. And nobody here has a crystal ball. Nobody can predict the future. And nobody can say emphatically that this is going to happen or that is going to happen. But I think in being and living through this historic period that we all find ourselves in, I think the power really comes in recognizing that we are experiencing one of the biggest transition in humanity at this point in time. And having that consciousness, having that awareness will just put you in a better position to make the best decisions for yourself and for your family. At the end of the day, that is all of our priorities, right? And I would like to think, at least. And you want to, as we bring it back to this channel, you want to do things that ultimately will make you happy and have a better quality of life, or a quality of life that you are not only proud of, but you just look forward to every day. And for some people, a lot of people, many people who are on this channel, on the stream, a big part of trying to accomplish that is having adjusting their relationship with Jamaica, whatever that may look like. Again, it could be coming here for 3 months out of the year, skipping winters. It could be fully moving down here. It could be having a summer home. It could be starting a business here. It could be moving your family here. Everybody has a different relationship with Jamaica, and everybody has a different Jamaica dream. And I think again, it's awesome, and it's a great privilege that we even have the opportunity to pursue that dream and to pursue the ability to just have control over our own happiness. Going back to your question, Shauna, I think with now bringing it back to real estate here, I think there's going to continue to be just a higher level of interest in Jamaica across the board. I think take it for what you will, but like even with what's happening with Black River, as we talked about Black River earlier, they're basically rebuilding a city. Or they are going to build a city anyway, but you're rebuilding this community literally from the ground up. There's going to be tremendous opportunity in that. Tremendous opportunity. And of course, think about it. There's going to be construction companies that are going to want that contract, whatever they decide to build. There's going to be architects who want to design this and want to design that. There's going to be electricians that need to wire the place up, plumbers. All of this is creating tremendous opportunity and tremendous value for companies, for individuals. Like, so many people are going to feed their family off of rebuilding Black River. There's going to be opportunity to buy land. People are going to be like, hey, can I set up a guest house and, maybe Airbnb or apartment complex development? All these things are great opportunities. And hopefully, I would like to think that there's going to be a lot of confidence in the market for people to invest in that way. And we want those investors, but we want well-thinking investors, I'd like to say, not just taking money from everywhere. As they say, all money ain't good money. So we want to get the right investors to come to the forum and come to the table to help rebuild Black River in that respect. I also think sticking on the South Coast, again, no crystal ball, right? But the oil situation, we've talked about this many times before on this channel. The oil situation is the oil situation, and there is a likelihood, there's a potential for Jamaica having its own oil and becoming an oil state. Never saw that in the cards, when I moved here. I was confident in Jamaica before that. And even if the situation turns out there is no oil there, so be it. I'm still confident in Jamaica and the direction that we're heading in and where we're going as a nation. Very, very confident in that. And again, I think on the real estate side, it's going to continue to go up. And imagine, like, if there is oil discovered, forget about it. Everything that we said about Treasure Beach, Black River, St. Elizabeth as a whole, man, that place is just gonna blow up in a good way. Oh, here goes Shauna. Shauna, first thought, Cuba, since they are our neighbors. Also, JA returnees, BTJ voluntarily, involuntarily. Is JA prepared, ready for potential influx of people while still recovery from the hurricane? And are you saying influx of people from Cuba? I haven't fully updated myself with Cuba. It's just so terrible. But I know it's a dire situation there. I know they have oil energy issue over there, and they're basically being isolated by the United States. And are we going to take on Cuban refugees? I don't know. I mean, I haven't really put a lot of thought into that. They are our neighbors, and I don't know enough about it to say this or that. It's a terrible situation, and I hope it gets solved. And I don't know enough to say hey, why don't they do this or why don't they do that? I don't know how we get to a place of resolve. So they get them out. They get them out of that situation. Oren says, great program as usual. Have a wonderful rest of the afternoon, guys. Bless up all. The word is love. Take care. Gonna attend to some stewed pork and rice and peas and a glass of beetroot juice. Awesome. Good for you, Oren. Have a happy Sunday, rest of your Sunday. Hellthorpe, I just returned last week. Michael Smith says, Jamaicans wake up. American Babylon is falling. Why would you want to enter into a burning building? Okay. Voice crack there. All right. I think thank you for the question though, Shauna, and just thinking things through as my answers came to my brain there. But I think we are gonna see, Shauna. No, Jay overseas in Cuba situation historically has helped Jamaica numerous times. There are unexpected variables. Yeah, it's a hard position for Jamaica to be in to help Cuba. I don't know what they're going to do with that in respect to retaliation from the U.S. I'm sure if that, from what I understand, if you help Cuba at this point, the U.S. is going to be pissed. So that is a sticky situation. That's a sticky one for sure. Thought for me, I hope we don't develop the oil market and go for electrification and solar and go for electrification and solar market. Yep, I agree with solar. Definitely. My hope is that any rebuilding efforts will benefit Jamaicans first. It should be Jamaicans first who are housed, employed, have a chance to invest, and not gentrified out of their community. All right, I think we're going to leave it there. I'm getting so hungry. Like that's like the main reason for me leaving is like talking so much. I get hungry and I'm starving right now. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get some food. What a great couple of weeks, 4 or 5 weeks for me. And with these productions, I'm really excited that we are moving into the Thought Media team. That is where we're moving into the phase of just pure editing. We got no more productions coming up in the next few weeks. And we are in the post-production phase and just going to be putting out content for you all. And like I said earlier, I'm super excited for you to meet all of the people that we have interviewed, that we've sat down with, that we've learned about their lives, their goals, their dreams, their ambitions, how they're going to be changing Jamaica, and also giving you the opportunities to be a part of it in a real way. And so that's coming up in the next few weeks. And, for me, it's like finally no more productions. And as you can imagine, so much has gone into these productions and preparing for them, actually executing on them. And then now we're in the phase of putting these storylines together. And it's going to be wonderful. I know it is. We just released, as a reminder, we released our last video today. I think that's the internet telling me I'm talking too much. All right. So just putting in the comment section All right, we're done. We're done. I tried. I'm trying. All right. Well, we'll see you next week. Next Sunday. We got more content coming out this week. I think we're going to do a midweek video. But let me get out of here before I get kicked off without it being my own will. Have a great rest of your Sunday, everybody. Have a great week ahead. Peace all. See you next week.